Fairbanks Focus Alaska View is brought to you by the University of Alaska Fairbanks, Alaska's first university, and the Fairbanks Economic Development Corporation, bringing economic development to interior Alaska.
Thanks for joining us at Fairbanks Focus Alaska View. I'm Nanette Pearson. Today I am joined by Shoshana Kuhn, and she is our Public Relations Coordinator for the Johnson Family Farms. And thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm really excited to have you here. I know that Johnson Family Farms has been around for about 3 years.
Yes.
And what else can you tell us about the farm?
Well, it is the northernmost controlled environment facility. We run on a hydroponics concept, and so we actually produce items that are better than organic is what we like to consider it. And the reason why we use that slogan is because better than organic to us means, you know, it is a contained unit, it's a controlled environment, so we therefore can control everything going in and out of your produce. It's ran on natural chelated minerals, and we run two different techniques. We have an ebb and flow hydroponic technique for our microgreens and a nutrient film technique that we use for our lettuce and basils. And we operate year-round, which is the largest difference between any other farm up here in the Fairbanks borough. So we're very proud to be able to offer these products. Bill Johnson began the company with just some wheatgrass, actually, back in 2009, about mid-2009. The grand opening was October 20th, 2009, and we actually hope to get our grand opening going here shortly. He started in a very small area, in a 600 square foot area. He's now operating in 6,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
So we have not just doubled, we've fivefold the operation. So what we focus on providing our community is microgreens, which is a little different. It's not a new product. The microgreens have been around, and most of us that have ever done any gardening have actually watched the microgreens turn into mature plants. So that is the major difference between a microgreen and its mature raw product. It's not a sprout. Sprouts are quite different in many different legal terms, but also the difference is that sprouts generally are not started from a seed that's going to create a adult vegetable. So that is a big difference.
And you're providing stuff here locally to some of the better known people here in Alaska, here in Fairbanks actually. And so who are you providing microgreens and some of your salads and basil to currently?
Well, we're very happy that Homegrown Market is one of our public outlets where all the consumers, the public, can go and purchase our items. We also are very grateful. We have Lavelle's, Double Eagle, Pump House, Gold Hill Express, the Roundup Roadhouse and Saloon, Fuji Japanese Steakhouse and Sushi, which is delicious. Go and ask for the Philadelphia roll with some radish micros in it. It's delicious. And also the Red Couch Grocery and Deli are currently bringing in our micros, our basil, and our lettuce. And of course, Fairbanks Memorial Hospital's cafeteria has been very supportive in this whole operation.
Oh, awesome. So is Fairbanks Memorial Hospital serving some of your produce?
It's serving it in their cafeteria, not so much to the patients there. But anybody can go in and eat a very healthy. They have a great salad bar there, and so does the Roundup Roadhouse as well. So Pump House and Lavelle's, they use a lot of it for garnish and a lot of it in their salads. So you can go and enjoy our fine microgreens there.
And what are some of the health benefits for our viewers at home of using the produce and using your produce? Well,
the best thing that we have as a whole is, of course, that it is an indoor controlled environment facility. The microgreens are a very concentrated version of the adult version of the plant. So it requires less consumption of the product. So if you really like broccoli, but you don't want to eat 2 pounds of broccoli, but you want the nourishment from it, eat yourself a couple ounces of broccoli micro and you get about the equivalent of what you would get in a large amount of broccoli.
So sort of like nutrients, concentrated. Yeah.
Yep. It's concentrated nutrients and vitamins, and each of the microgreens provides a different, they all have common vitamins, but each has a different amount of, for example, radish, daikon radish has the most vitamin E out of all of them, for example. And another thing is like cilantro. The cilantro microgreen provides a whole lot more lutein than some of the other microgreens.
Now, can you get some of the same flavors from using a cilantro microgreen as opposed to like a cilantro stock that you got at the grocery store?
Absolutely. I'm glad you asked that question, because if you do go out and you find yourself the cilantro, go easy, because again, it is a concentrated version of the adult plant. So when you go in and you consume it, the radish, they're very potent as far as spiciness goes. And you look at the micro and you go, oh yeah, it can't be too bad. They get a little spicy on those radish ones because it is concentrated.
Well, and I make a lot of, I'm from the Southwest, so I make a lot of dishes that include cilantro. And so I'm really happy to hear that it's available through your farm, because I love using it as a spice. And some of the stocks that are available at the grocery stores are just not cutting it for my personal cooking. But yeah, that's great.
Yep.
And how can people get a hold of you if they wanted to, it's good that they can buy it at Homegrown Market. How can they get a hold of you if they wanted to buy maybe in larger quantities?
Yeah, you can get a hold of us at our website. It's jffalaska.com. We're also on Facebook at JFF Alaska. You can contact me either at 590-8313 directly or at 374-1822 and get a hold of us, and we can let you know what's going on and what's coming to that week. But right now we're running on a very full, everything is coming to, and it's just coming together beautifully. We have a new product. It's a Kogani Chinese cabbage micro. It's delicious. It's edible flowers, but it's also rich in vitamin C's, A's, B6s, and 12s, and that is currently available at the Homegrown Market. Not that that's my favorite, but...
Now, does that taste like cabbage?
Not at all, actually. I'm not really a cabbage fan. It tastes, to me, it's very earthy. It tastes a little bit like the edible flowers do taste, but it's a beautiful bright green, so it adds up a little beauty to your salads, and I would just leave it in the salads. I wouldn't even hide it in a sandwich. But the radish sprouts go great in all kinds of sandwiches and actually soup.
Oh yeah,
It's quite good.
And we're coming on soup season,
Yep.
so and is there some things that you're looking forward to as far as being able to provide these microgreens in other areas and arenas?
Well, we are very eagerly assisting and helping and waiting for the Fairbanks Food Co-op to actually open up here, and we should be attending their meetings and working alongside with them, so they are aware that what we have and what we can bring in there. And so we hope to see a lot of our products at the future Fairbanks Food Co-op, and we appreciate Homegrown Market for bringing the stuff in to provide to the public in the meantime.
Awesome. And you were talking to me earlier about some taste testings and things that you did with a local school.
Oh,
tell
had
us a little bit more about that.
We had such a good time. We were invited by the Farm to School program to take part in the food challenge with Randy Smith Middle School, and we sampled out about 150 two different kinds, a chicken orange salad and a bean salad. The bean salad featured the pea shoots and also the cilantro. Well, it was interesting because a lot of kids found that the cilantro was a little overwhelming, and we provided very little. So there's that warning. But actually, congratulations to the students that helped us vote, because the chicken orange salad won, and that had our pea shoots in it. So that was a lot of fun, actually.
Now, did it actually have chicken in it at all?
It really did have chicken, the chicken orange salad, and it was really good, actually. I they did great in preparing both of those dishes. And Amy Roos, I want to thank her for inviting us in as well. She's the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District Nutrition Services. So we've been collaboratively working with the organizations and hopefully trying to get some of these very healthy items into the schools so our children can enjoy positive, healthy, locally grown, year-round vegetables.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. I always worry a little bit. My daughter does eat lunch at school pretty frequently, not every day, but and I always worry about, is she getting things that are grown locally? Is she getting food provided that has nutrients and sustenance like that?
Yeah.
What schools can people find some of your produce in now?
Well, we are in talks with Amy Roos as far as getting our products into the salad bars and into the salads that go into our children's lunches. So right now we're not directly able to provide, but it's an ongoing process. And same thing with UAF. We are supporting the motion that is going through to bring in more local produce to the university, to the Lola Tilly Commons, and we're very supportive of that movement going on. So we hope to also be able to provide the university students with some good brain food, really.
Yeah, well, and I know that you were at the UAF Food Day,
We were.
And that's where I met you, and I was very glad to see you guys there. It was a big opportunity, and I know you and I both signed a petition that our viewers and students alike can also sign to provide locally grown food to university students. Like you said, it's brain food.
It's brain food.
When do you need? I mean, our kids in school, high school, and college. I mean, we all need brain food, but especially at those times.
Yep.
So, just once again, would you mind telling our viewers where they can purchase your food, who's carrying it, and how to get a hold of you?
Sure. Best place to find it is you can either get a hold of us directly through jffalaska.com, call us at 374-1822, or look for our stuff at Homegrown Market off of Garrity Avenue. For some already prepared dishes, Lavelle's, Double Eagle, Pump House, Gold Hill Express, and then Roundup Roadhouse and Saloon has a great salad bar, Fairbanks Memorial Hospital with a wonderful salad bar, and of course Fuji Japanese Steakhouse and Sushi and the Red Couch Grocery.
Awesome. And Red Couch Grocery, too. That's wonderful. And is there anything else that you would like our viewers to know?
If viewers are interested in finding out more about what the microgreens can do for you, there was a study performed by Dr. Quinn Wang from University of Maryland College Park, and it was done in conjunction with Dr. Jean Lester, who is a USDA researcher.
Oh, awesome.
And in that study, the biggest thing that to cite about that is that they did find that the microgreens do have higher concentration of healthy vitamins and carotenoids than their mature counterparts. So in other words, again, concentrated 4 to 40-fold times more in a small amount than in a large grown mature vegetable.
Well, and if you're having trouble getting your kids to eat their vegetables,
I recommend highly the pea shoots and the sunflower microgreen. Those seem to be very children friendly, very.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. I really appreciate you coming in, and I encourage our viewers to check out those studies that we were talking about. Next up, we have Samantha Larson. We'll be interviewing Sean Lotz from the Co-op Market.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Samantha Larson. Today I have the pleasure of sitting down with Sean Lott, Outreach and Marketing Manager of the Co-op Market Grocery and Deli. Hello, Ms. Lott. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So I would like to talk a little bit about the what a co-op is, the Fairbanks Co-op. The United Nations declared 2012 to be the year of the cooperative. Would you mind giving me a simple definition of what a co-op is?
So a cooperative is a business that is owned by the people that use its services. So we're a retail co-op, a grocery co-op. We have member owners. We have around 1,400 right now that have paid a member equity investment, and the full equity investment is $200. So this means that those people, community members, actually own this grocery store that we are opening.
Okay, and so this cooperative is it's my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, volunteer run at the moment. The efforts are from volunteers, and the funding is donations.
Well, it was all volunteers until recently. We currently have 2 employees, but yes, the entire startup has been a large volunteer base. And some businesses have also volunteered their services or even funds. It's not necessarily donations. We have the member equity, like I said, so you're actually buying into the business. So the member owners are funding the business. We have member owners that have made member loans, and then we also have some grant funding and then a bank loan
Okay.
as well, but primarily cooperatives are funded by their member owners.
Okay, thank you for that definition. That makes it a little bit easier to understand what a co-op is. And tell me, how is the Fairbanks Co-op using this model that the United Nations has presented, or the basic definition of a co-op? How is the Fairbanks Co-op using that model for the betterment of the community?
Well, cooperatives are governed by 7 principles, and these principles, also being owned by community members, sets a cooperative apart. They have a higher degree of social responsibility because they're owned by the people in the community and the people using their services, not outside shareholders. What's the question again?
Oh, no, you're fine. It's okay. So I get tongue-tied on the show all the time. It happens.
Okay.
No big deal. So basically, the Fairbanks Co-op is a organization that is bringing the community together, that's contributing back to the community, rather than just running solely for profit.
Correct. Well, we want to be profitable because those profits go back into the business and back to the member owners. We are really in existence for our member owners, for our community.
Okay. So that brings me to my next question. With this co-op market, grocery, and deli, now we have Fred Meyer in town, we have Safeway, these corporate giants. How is the co-op market, grocery, and deli going to compete with that? How are they going to survive?
Now, this is a question that's asked frequently. How are you going to be competitive? There are things that we can do to be competitive, to have competitive prices, especially on those items that are purchased most frequently. And like Safeway and Fred Meyer and Walmart, will be equivalent on some prices, will be higher on some prices, will be lower on some. It will be just like another grocery store in that respect. Where we really set ourselves apart is in our dedication to community. That's one of the 7 principles, is concern for community.
I was gonna say, in an earlier interview that we had, just talking in general, you were telling me that with the co-op market, grocery, and deli, your first priority is going to be putting local growers and farmers first.
Yes, our first priority is local. If there is a quality local option, we want to carry that. And otherwise, our priorities are organic and natural foods.
Okay, so since the co-op market, grocery, and deli, its first concern is local farmers, how are you going to supply those items in the wintertime, when local farmers obviously can't grow or harvest anything?
We anticipate the longer we're open, the more farmers will produce, and also we hope that there will be the impetus to create the infrastructure for storage and for packaging and things like this. So initially, we won't have as much as we would like. Local production, we anticipate ramping up, and then the amount that we can carry in our grocery store will increase. We will be full service year-round with all of the grocery departments, so we'll source from out of state. And we've discovered that we can get a lot of our products from Oregon and Washington. So we really would like to stay as close to Alaska as possible, but we'll have to reach out further than that as well.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. I'm sure that a lot of people were wondering that. How are you going to get these things when, you know, in the dead of winter, when you're not producing, you're not growing? So as far as being natural and an organic-based establishment, you were telling me that the co-op market is going to, grocery and deli, is going to provide humanely raised meats, wild-caught fish, all of those things. Do you think that by offering those things to the community as far as a grocery store that's based off those principles, off natural, organic, humanely raised, do you think that that's going to influence a change in dieting, eating habits in people?
Well, I'll go back to our principles again. Another one of the 7 principles is outreach, and education, and information. I believe that consumption of local goods will increase, but it will take some education. And that's something that in looking at cooperatives around the U.S., as I've learned more and more, they just do a stellar job with it, and they're really dedicated to it. And we already have a team of volunteers that are very excited about outreach and education. This is also an area where we can partner with other entities in the community. I'd love to see us working with the food bank, and there's potential for us to work with the UAF Culinary Arts program. They're getting more interested in local as well. So when we open, there will be a multitude of opportunities to work with other entities in the community to educate the consumer.
Okay. I want to go back just for a second to the local grown foods, the produce aspect of the store. You were telling me in an earlier that whatever produce that is close to production date, is that the correct term?
Or close dated items, or items that are not suitable for selling out on the floor any longer. We'll cull them when they're still usable. We can use them either in our small deli. We'll have a self-serve deli. And if we don't use them there, then we really want to be zero waste. So we will donate to the food bank, we'll donate to Stone Soup Cafe, and what can't be used as food we can compost.
I think that's fantastic. I think it's great that, you know, nothing is going to waste, everything is being used. I know we spoke a little bit about the energy aspect of the store.
Yes.
If you want to explain to the viewers a little bit about that, as far as the doors and the curtains go that we spoke about.
Yes, we've purchased energy efficient equipment that's actually sitting in the store waiting to be installed. And they're produce coolers with night curtains to conserve energy. The dairy cases have doors. Frequently you'll see a dairy case without a door, but putting a door on it saves a great deal of energy. The compressors are more energy efficient than had we reused equipment or purchased a different type. And there have been other energy saving measures incorporated in the store design that are going to save a great deal in utility costs.
Okay, thank you for that, that little tip.